Hey everyone, I promised y'all an installation tutorial for free HDTV, free over-the-air high-definition television. So within this video, what I'm going to do is explain step by step how I installed it. And by the way, I'm very satisfied with the results. And you may be in the same position I was in. Maybe you've changed cable providers several times. Maybe you've changed satellite providers. Maybe you've gone back and forth, continuing to try to negotiate a better rate. Well, I finally got to the point to where it's like, even after negotiating a better rate, I still felt like the cable companies and the satellite TV providers were skinning me alive. And speaking of skinning me alive, when I was installing this, I fell in my attic and I gashed my arm and I gashed my hand. But that's nothing in comparison to being continuously skinned alive by cable providers and satellite TV providers. So before we jump in, I'm going to go with the assumption that you may have coax cable in your house already. That's probably that black colored cable. It's got the little screw end and it's got that little copper looking piece that sticks out. Your standard TV cable, your standard satellite cable. So if you've got that, there's a good possibility you may be able to repurpose the cabling that's already running to your satellite antenna, to behind your TV, whatever that may be. Now my installation, even though I had cable from my previous satellite TV installation already routed, I took advantage of a tool, and by the way, you can find all the equipment that I'm going to reference within this video. Just expand this video's description and then click the link there to find it all, because I listed everything, links to all the equipment that I use to install my free over-the-air HDTV solution. So if you've already got existing wiring, there's a good possibility when you get into your attic or a place like that where you may see these. These are splitters. If you have splitters, do not use these. It's easy to think, well, this has an in and this has two ins and one out, or two outs and one in, regardless of, depending upon how you look at it. But these will degrade signal quality, and I can confirm that because what I was going to do, I was going to have one antenna pointing in one direction and another antenna pointing in another direction to hit another tower. But even with just one antenna connected to this, the signal quality was greatly degraded. If you're going to repurpose, the best thing to do is use one continuous piece of coaxial cable, if you don't mind running it. But if you've already got cable run, take any of those splitters off that may exist. And if you need to make your cable that's already run a little bit longer, use a connector such as this. I use this connector. Let me see there, I got to get it in focus. I used this connector and I was able to extend the length of my coax, and I did not experience signal loss like I did with the splitter that I just showed you. So again, if these are in your attic or wherever, take these out. Best case scenario, you want to run one continuous piece of coaxial cable. And again, if you need to combine, if you need to make one of your existing coaxial cables longer, stick this in the middle of it. So now let's jump in. We're gonna start with the attic. Now, so what I did, and again, if you're thinking about installing an antenna on your roof, you'll probably get the best reception. Now, there's a few disadvantages to a roof-mounted antenna. One of the disadvantages is that, well, it looks ugly. And the other disadvantage is that anytime you attach something to your roof, you run the risk of creating holes that rain can seep in, and then the inside of your house will get wet. And then also there's often homeowners associations that disallow installation of roof-mounted antennas. So with that being the case, what I did, I've got an attic area. And we're going to step in here and I'm going to show you the antenna part. And again, we're going to go through step by step all components of my free over-the-air my free HDTV over-the-air installation. If you have any questions, comment below and I'll be more than happy to try to answer those. But let's go in here to this attic area, and we're going to take a look at the antenna portion. And again, this is just part of the installation, and something I want to remind everyone: if you're going to go forward with this, and you're not a patient person, and you probably don't want to go forward with it, because expect to have to readjust several times. Actually, it took me a few days to get everything to perfect everything. So this is my attic. Again, not a very safe place to walk in and out of. This is actually where I fell and gashed my arm and my hand. But again, it's worth it because I'm getting free over-the-air HDTV now. Now, if you look up here, you're going to notice something. You see this cable? That's a piece of cable that I used and I connected to what I was mentioning earlier. This right here, it's that little gold colored piece. That's that connector like I showed you in the start of this video. So I've got this cable, which was the original. It was installed by the satellite provider, and it runs to the back of my TV. It runs through the wall. So I didn't have to run another cable through the wall. But this wasn't long enough to reach my antenna that I installed on the roof, so I had to extend this cable, and that's the little adapter that I used, and it worked well. Try to keep your extension as short as possible. I probably could have gone a little bit shorter. As you can see here, I've got quite a bit of extra. Now let me step down here because I don't want to film and fall. So now that you've seen my wiring job, we're going to go up and look at the antenna. I tried 3 different antennas, but this antenna is the one that worked exceptionally well for me. And again, expand this video's description and then click the link there to find where to order this antenna online. But it's just a really good antenna. Works for me. I'm hitting one of the primary markets. The towers are approximately 65 miles from this antenna. So that's quite impressive. Obviously, this is in the 2nd floor of my primary residence. And you can see over here, it's a roof. And all that's on the other side of that roof, there's no brick. There's just shingles. So this is the only obstruction this has is the wood and then the shingles on top and whatever tar, whatever may be on there. What was cool about this antenna is that it came with a mount. Everything you see there was included. I mean, the mount, the coax was not. I've linked that within this video's description. It was very cheap. The antenna was, a little bit expensive, but not bad at all. I mean, a lot less than a month's worth of silly satellite or cable TV. And then I just mounted the arm to one of the studs in the roof. So that's the antenna. Now let's look at where the antenna runs to. So that's important. So this is where my antenna runs to, and I need to better organize the cables. But the wire that you saw that ran through my wall, the black part, white part runs into the antenna upstairs, black part goes into wall, and then the black part comes out of the wall, and I plug it into this box right here. And this is super important because that particular antenna does not have an amplifier. So see, it says ant in, that's antenna in. So that's the one coming out of the wall. And then this right here that says TV, that is running from there to the back of this box. This box is super important. You've got the option of just running an antenna into the back of your TV if your TV has an antenna in. But this box is really cool because what you can do with it, you can place it anywhere within your residence that has either a network jack, which I have a network jack, or you can use wireless. So, hardwired or use wireless. Actually, right now, even though I have a network jack, I'm using wireless just because I wanted to see how well or how poorly it would perform wirelessly. And I haven't noticed a difference between the wired and the wireless. So that's kind of cool. So I'm going to tuck this somewhere hidden that I only have to run a wire to, where I can still get quality Wi-Fi reception and just kind of have it tucked out of the way. And then you see there's a hard drive attached to it. That's just a small 2 terabyte hard drive. The maximum, at least at the time of posting this video, that I can use with that is 2 terabytes. But if you have a larger hard drive and you use it, it'll just use 2 terabytes of that larger hard drive. So that controls my over-the-air so that connects to my over-the-air antenna, and then this box will share my over-the-air broadcast with any of my TVs that I use. In my case, I use Fire TV. I found that to be a great experience. So this TV, for example, this has Fire TV. It doesn't have it integrated, but I just got the Fire TV 4K. Again, check the link within this video's description. You can find it there. So when I turn this TV on, it goes into Fire TV, and I can see my my over-the-air free HDTV channels that are being delivered by that box. And then I can also find all my other TV channels. You know, I do use some popular services like Netflix, and also use Sling, S-L-I-N-G. And then this TV out here is really cool because it's got Fire TV built in, and I can use the remote that came with it to control my receiver using something called CEC. So when I power on the TV, it powers on my receiver, which powers on my surround sound. This was a super cheap TV. Again, you can expand this video's description and check the link there. But it has Fire TV integrated. And again, it was just a super cheap TV. But since it has integrated Fire TV, it makes watching these over-the-air shows by way of the box that I just showed you in the other room easily doable. So we've discussed now the antenna, the box that I use to run the antenna into, which the box streams the over-the-air TV shows to the two TVs that I have with Fire TV. And the box also has an integrated DVR. That's that 2 terabyte hard drive I showed you. So it's it's able to record over-the-air shows. So that's how I've set mine up. Again, super affordable, especially when you compare that to the price of a traditional cable TV or satellite service. You'll probably find that within a few months, you'll probably already be in the green. It's not, I don't quote prices because prices constantly change, but again, expand this video's description and click the link there to find all the components. And also check out my playlist for free HDTV because I've got a lot of videos. This is just kind of the high-level overview, and I'm going to dive more deeply into some more advanced topics. And if there's anything that you would like to hear me address within an upcoming video, comment below, and I'll try to put together a video tutorial for y'all. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day, and be sure to subscribe. And when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Captain IRIX Guy here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/IRIX Guy. And ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.